follows up on some of the comments that have been made about the Times Square bomber, the recognition that in conjunction with the federal, state, the local law enforcement individuals on the scene, it was an effort that we recognize, and kind of in view of the fact that we've got National Police Week beginning next week, I think that it's a testament to the work and the coordinated efforts that go on. We appreciate that. But as good as that was, I think there is a lot of concern out there about why the suspect was not apprehended until the jet has pulled away from the gate. I come from a state where we all fly. And we've got a level of scrutiny at our little airports in some pretty remote and out-of-the-way places where people feel like the level of scrutiny and surveillance is just over the top. And they look then at an individual that he's triggered all the flags. You know, you've purchased the ticket with cash, you purchased it just immediately before the flight, international flight, all of the indicators. One really has to wonder, you know, where was the failing here? What happened with this watch list? And Senator Murkowski has used the terminology, the watch list is like nails on a blackboard. I think that all gets all of us charged up as we talk about that. But we really do have to wonder, okay, why was he not taken into custody at the screening point, at the gate, or in the jetway? It makes you wonder whether or not there's a lapse in communication then between the FBI and TSA, or perhaps between the FBI and other law enforcement agencies that are working at the airport. So the question to you this morning is whether or not you are satisfied with the way that this takedown went, or whether there are ways that we can improve on this, and then secondly, whether the takedown of a fugitive on board an aircraft presented safety risk to the other passengers on the airplane. So if you can just speak to that end of this issue.
Well, and I guess in direct response to your question, I'm never satisfied, even with an operation like this one, which I think we all have to understand was successful. The person who was responsible for placing that bomb in Times Square was apprehended in a relatively short period of time. Now, I don't take too much from that. I mean, we were successful here. It does not mean that we don't have to continue to be vigilant. There are going to be other attempts, and we're going to have to make sure that we are up to the task. We were successful here, but am I satisfied? No. We have to always look at our failures, our successes, and figure out ways in which we can, in the next occasion, be even better. Here, the TSA has already announced that it's going to make changes with regard to how often airlines are required to look at changes that are made on the no-fly list. It was 12 hours. They're going to move it down to 2 hours. So that if that change had been in effect, it's possible that he would have been caught before he got on the plane. With regard to the takedown on...
Can I ask you about that, though? Because I've been one. You know, you purchase a ticket at the last minute to go home. I purchase it on my credit card. It's not cash, and yet I am subjected, even as a United States Senator, I'm subjected to the full-on screening because I've purchased a one-way ticket at the last minute. Tell me why, given all of the red flags again in this particular instance, why we were relying only on that watch list, on that no-fly list. Was there not sufficient information to cause further questioning? I mean, I think people are really concerned about how he was able to board that aircraft and have that aircraft actually leave the jetway before we were successful in apprehending him. And we're pleased that he was stopped. But we all have to wonder, how did he get on that airplane?
Well, as I said, we have to look at this successful operation and determine how we can do it better the next time. But again, I go back to the fact that the foundation here is that the effort to determine who was responsible for the placement of that bomb and his apprehension, we were successful in doing that in a relatively short period of time. The screening that people go through, he was not, while on the plane, necessarily a danger. I mean, he went through, all of the metal detectors and all of those things. The information that was passed to TSA was done in a way under a system that is now in the process of being changed in recognition of the fact that as we look, even preliminarily, as we look back on what happened with regard to him, that we already have noticed that there are things that we need to calibrate in a different way. And those changes have already been announced and are being instituted.
I'd like to help the senator from Alaska out. We're really grouchy about the watch list and what happened. We were really proud of